Hello creatives! In this video, I'll share with you 10 differences between rich people and poor people, and the best mindset to adopt if you want to be rich and enjoy wealth. Ever since I was a small kid, I've always wondered why some people are rich and others are poor. After reading wide and studying lots of rich guys, I realized that no one is poor. It's all in the mindset. The ones we call poor have a poverty mindset. That means that they are convinced that their financial situation cannot change. Those people, according to Robert Kiyosaki, are okay with living on a paycheck. We also have the rich. They are trendsetters, innovators, and the influencers of this world. Those people are always learning how to make more money and change lives. Would you want to know the things that the rich do differently from the poor? I have no doubt you'll love the list I've assembled, in particular number 2, which challenges me a lot. But before then, if you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel and continue receiving great videos like this one. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can get informed every time I publish a life-changing video. Let's get started. Number 10. Rich people make money work for them. Poor people work for money. We all have 24 hours, but the difference is how we use every minute. The poor mostly exchange their time for money, so they work for money. The rich, on the other hand, use money to get money. So instead of working for money, money works for them. No one advises better than Robert Kiyosaki, who says, "Don't work for money, make it work for you." As the poor are working tirelessly to make ends meet, the rich are busy discovering new opportunities worth investing in. The takeaway: adopt the wealthy mindset to start making money to work for you and not the reverse. Number 9. Rich people search for solutions. Poor people look for excuses. Much of the rich struggled to make it to the top. They understand that wealth and success don't come cheap. So whenever they face a challenge, they don't give up until they figure it out. The rich understand that losers quit when they fail, winners fail until they succeed. Words that Robert Kiyosaki uses a lot. The problem with people with a poor mindset is that they always look for an excuse when facing a tough challenge. They quit prematurely instead of trying to figure out a problem. The approach of the rich, interestingly, is that every challenge is an opportunity to invent or create or make money. The takeaway: try to find a solution for a problem and don't chicken out on the first opportunity you get. 8. Rich people create, poor people consume. Most rich people in the world today are either innovators or product creators. Generally, they invest in creating a valuable product targeting the poor. Do you wonder why? Again, it comes down to how the two mindsets face challenges. The poor don't want to challenge themselves, and so they prefer that somebody else does it. Well, the rich are opportunistic predators, looking for an investment opportunity to grab. So, they don't hesitate to put their money in a project that creates a product that the poor will buy. The takeaway: you can't always be a consumer. If you want to be rich, then you have to create and invent. 7. Rich people always learn, poor people stop learning after leaving school. It's a known fact that the rich continue learning even after leaving school, while the poor stop as soon as they graduate or get their first job. Guys like Mark Cuban, Bill Gates, and Warren Buffett are some of the wealthiest people with a reading culture. They genuinely understand what Benjamin Franklin meant by saying, "An investment in knowledge pays the best dividend." Generally, reading broadens your knowledge. You become more informed and wise when it comes to making financial decisions. Reading is also fun when the content challenges or motivates you. The takeaway: read a book for at least an hour a day. 6. Rich people act on logic, poor people act on impulse. The reason why most rich guys grow their interest is that they take calculated risks. They do not act on impulse, as it's often the case with the poor. I like how Warren Buffett advises, never invest in a business you cannot understand. Generally, by taking calculated decisions, the rich are more confident. They know that they have done their homework correctly and that their action is based on their financial intelligence. As for the poor, impulse actions don't always guarantee results. More often than not, it leads one to invest in an idea that doesn't materialize. The takeaway: always think logically and don't let your emotions crowd your judgment. Number 5. Rich people are long-term thinkers. Poor people are short-term thinkers. Most poor people live in the moment. They are not too concerned about their future, and so they tend to set short-term goals. The rich people, however, are the direct opposite. They are not satisfied with settling for a temporary solution, but something that holds for the long term. According to T. Harv Eker, rich people think big, poor people think small. A poor person will want to reap big with one deal, like the lottery. A rich person, however, will invest in an idea that would probably take 5 years or more to bring realistic returns. The takeaway: don't just focus on short-term goals, but think long-term. Your financial future depends on the decisions you take for the long term. Number 4. Rich people always have an action plan. Poor people are just hopeful. When setting goals, the rich think critically, and they always have an action plan. In contrast, the poor see the objectives of the rich as fantasies. Yes, most people with poor mindset set goals, but it's often wishful thinking. It's good to be hopeful, but hope needs to be accompanied with logic to yield results. Carrie Wilkerson warns, the more you are not taking action, the more money you are losing. The takeaway: always face your challenges with an action plan. Just being hopeful is not enough. You have to apply logic in your dealings. Number 3. Rich people always ask questions. Poor people are victims of assumptions. When it comes to learning a new venture, the rich always inquire. According to Robert Kiyosaki, the most successful people in life are the ones who ask questions. They are always learning. The poor sadly make assumptions, and they end up making the wrong calls. For example, when a poor person reaches out to a prominent person, the majority of them will agree on what they say, even though they have concerns deep within. A rich person, on the contrary, will think things over and ask the necessary questions. If it's about investments, a poor person may put their money on an idea they do not understand. A rich person, in contrast, will first talk to the right people, including legal experts, before committing to a deal. The takeaway: clear the doubts and shake off the fears by asking the right questions. 2. Rich people read a lot. Poor people watch too much TV. Since the rich always want to stay ahead in knowledge, they like reading. A guy like Warren Buffett can afford to read 500 pages a day despite being one of the wealthiest people in the world. I also cannot forget to mention Bill Gates, who reads 5 new books yearly, and Mark Cuban, who reads at least 3 hours a day. Contrarily, the poor spend most of their time watching TV and catching up with the latest gossip. They prefer TV since it doesn't involve any thinking like reading does. No wonder Zig Ziglar quotes, "Rich people have small TVs and big libraries, and poor people have small libraries and big TVs." The takeaway: take at least an hour a day to read as you reduce the amount of time you watch TV. That's having a wealthy man mindset. Number 1. Rich people invest, poor people save up. Lastly, saving is fantastic as it secures your future against life contingencies. However, you cannot get rich by saving alone. It would help if you let your money work for you, something that the rich do very well. Generally, the poor are not willing to take substantial financial risks, so they opt for the safest way out, and that is to put money into a savings account. The rich people, on the contrary, are not afraid to take substantial financial risks, as they understand the greater the risk, the bigger the return. While savings accounts accrue interests, in the long run, the returns are incomparable to what most investments bring. You'll find most rich people buying stocks and shares in the real estate sector because they know that's where the money lies. The takeaway: learn to invest more than you save. Investments pay the best returns. In conclusion, do you have a mindset of the rich or of the poor? If it's the latter, then it's time you start thinking and behaving like a wealthy person. I'll leave you with Brian Tracy's words. Today, the greatest single source of wealth is between your ears. I know this video was exciting and you loved it. Check out these other exciting videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, you're definitely missing out. See you in the next one.